evening, good morning, good night, you lovelies. It is the one, the only Cappy D Bar. We're here for a review for One Piece, chapter 1159. As promised, I had a lot of fucking fun reading this chapter. Due to the nature of some of my other responsibilities, I was a little bit spoiled by the ending of this chapter, but all around amazing fucking chapter. I think what Oda's setting up here is beautiful fucking work. We're gonna get right into it with Yamato and her cover story. She said that she has gotten her fill of Ringo and she is going back to the capital region. If you ask me, I think capital region is I would say some I would categorize as I would categorize the flower region as a very prominent part in Wano. So I think it would be interesting if we can see maybe the Cross Guild or maybe the Big Mom pirates make an arrival. I think there's just a lot happening in the world, and Yamato's just a bit disconnected. I don't have a lot of thoughts on this overall, though. We are moving forward with the rest of this chapter. We start off exactly where we picked up, where Rox is learning the news of Shaki. Shaki was there, and we learned that she was kidnapped, and we see photos of Wang Shi, sliming out fucking Shakis, counting stacks of money. And it is spread throughout the entire world that Shaki has been, she's been captured from Hachinosu. Roger's pissed about this, bro. He's tight. Rarely seems worse for wear. This relationship between between Roger and Rayleigh when it comes to Shaki is very interesting, because it seems like Roger is still actively kind of pursuing her, but Rayleigh is also taking notice to her not being safe, and how that's kind of a reflection of him being kind of lazy-daxical, because who's to say if Rayleigh doesn't go there and spend the night with Shaki, she never gets kidnapped, right? That's a reality, right? Next, we see that the economy, from a result of this devastating news, crashes, all because of one Shaki Yaku. It's shit like this just makes me just put my fucking head in my palm, bro. Like, Oda, there's no way you got fucking the world economy. I want y'all to just think about this. Imagine that you are just a known person in the One Piece world, right? Just minding your business, going about your day, and you go to the cashier to finish your payment, and your money is worthless because some lady gets kidnapped from a pirate island. The entire economy crashed, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if you realize what that means, but it's insane. That's pretty fucking crazy. Shaki has insane motion. We learned that the reason St. Garland picked this island is strictly to clip his baby moms, right? He wants to clip his baby moms so he can wife up Shaki, and this is the reason as to why Shanks ends up an orphan. It is fucking maddening, bro. Shit. Like, St. Garland is probably one of the most devious, backhanded, evil fucking characters we have ever experienced in One Piece, bro. He literally clips his baby moms, and then we realize that this timeline doesn't play out how the spoilers kind of anticipated it to, because in my opinion, we're not going to return back to the scene. This is the last time we're going to be seeing this couple and everything here. So in my personal opinion, I might be wrong, but in fucking sane shit that Garling is pulling off. We see God Valley get raided, and the people of God Valley kind of get barraged and questioned and really attacked. The Marines kind of established this militarized force just immediately on the shores of God Valley, and it's an instant takeover, right? In preparation for this Celestial Dragon hunts game that they put on annually. Next panel, we see Dragon. Dragon in his younger years. He's in a Marine uniform. He has the little box, future revolutionary leader and father of Luffy. And to be honest, he really kind of looks like a version of, and I might be wrong here, I feel like he looks like a version of Apu and Kong Gun Luffy, Gear for Luffy. I feel like there's a combination of those two in there. I don't I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. But Dragon is essentially, he's trying to get some answers out of his, I guess you can call it like the vice admiral leading them into battle. And obviously he's very like apprehensive to battle. He's like, hey, what's going on? What am I doing? What's happening here? And the vice admiral tells him swiftly to shut up, take orders, and maybe ask some questions when you've been here for 10 or so years. We see Dragon aim his gun and he apologizes to a civilian. He says, it's fine, just tranquilizers. They can't kill anyone. Now, to be fair, Dragon should know if they're tranquilizer darts, but I don't know if he's exactly skilled in the dosage that the world government is giving to these random people with whatever comorbidity, like whatever prior conditions that they're having, right? I'm saying to say that tranquilizer isn't just the safest of administration. Like, it's not just the safest, like, administration. No. What's the word? Administrative. It's not the calmest. It's not the safest thing to just hand out to people, right? And as Dragon, he stares down the barrel of his gun. He gets ready to let off. There's an explosion in the. There's an explosion in the distance, and we see that it is a form of hypnosis gas. Immediately when I seen this, I thought of Caesar's poison gas, from Punk Hazard. So maybe we're gonna see like the early iterations of Caesar, maybe even like Caesar's like teacher, Vegapunk, right? Who knows what we're gonna be getting? But there is a hypnosis gas explosion, leaving Dragon unable to take any tranquilizer shots or maybe live round shots. We really don't know. My personal opinion, I think Dragon's a rat. Okay, I think Dragon, he was sitting here putting this uniform on, is cowardly. Ain't no nigga from the street trying to be a cop, man. Ain't no nigga from the street trying to be a cop if they trying to be in a field for it. Ivankov, Ginny, and Kuma in the Marine slave barracks, in the ship, and they're putting the message out that Shaki is at God Valley, and this is the place that the Marines are holding her captive, right? There's a lot of bickering amongst the captives, amongst like making noise and being too loud, and Ivankov has this beautiful quote, amazing quote. They say, they say in this like super loud tone, by the way, like the guards literally have to be like, hey, somebody shut the slaves up after this. Are you an idiot or what? We're all gonna die. Do you even know where the ship is heading? Are you an idiot or what? We're all gonna die. Do you even know where the ship heads? You really think luck's gonna save someone who won't even fight for their lives? Miracles don't fall from the sky. Unlike Luffy, who does fall from the sky. This is a really powerful fucking quote from Ivankov, man. And it just goes to recognize, and it just goes to show why they are the essential face of the revolutionaries right behind Sabo. We're waiting to see what Dragon can do. And, a lot of people wouldn't even really put Dragon in like a top 20 because we haven't seen a lot from him. So how can he be the face of the revolutionaries if he doesn't have a lot of on-paper feats to compare with everyone else in the story? But we are moving towards that very soon. I guarantee all of you. Next, we see a version of young Morgans. Next we see a version of a really young Morgans, and I'm not gonna lie, I don't really know. I think it's a Zoan. It's apparently a Zoan. It's a Zoan. But if you would have told me, that he was just like a mink, I would 100% believe it. Like, this seems like to be like his more natural and more comfortable form. So we see Morgans in his seagull kind of. Is it seagull? I think it's a seagull, right? We see him in his. We see Morgans in his seagull-like form. I think it's a seagull. I don't really know. He's talking to the world government, and I believe it's CP9 agents, and I believe it's some CP agents. And Morgans is saying like, "Hey, I have information on God Valley and Shaki. I have the information because you know what I'm talking about. Let's not make this any more complicated than it needs to be." CP9 agents play stupid, and then we learn that is the force that got the. And we learn that that is the calling card that sent everybody to God Valley. We see Hachinosu's big pirate skull is overcome with with love and admiration for Shiki. The eyes are all big. The big rock for Hachinosu, the big pirate rock, has gotten eyes just like full of hearts, and everyone's like super excited about getting after Shaki and going back. Wang Chi makes a comment like, "Oh, is this fake information? Who knows?" And everybody's trying to decipher what they can do with this information. Whitebeard, he is saying that he's always heard of rumors of slaves being used in some hunting game, and now it seems like there's some validity to that. Big Mom and Kaido are having a really interesting conversation about devil fruits, and I think that's really nice. Being that obviously Big Mom has at least 3 kids at this time. Kaido's looking for his own devil fruit, so that gives everyone a purpose to do anything in this story moving forward when it comes to God Valley shit. I'm really hyped about that. And we get Garps, man. Garps the fucking GOAT. He literally says, if your gut is telling you to leave, then you're gutless. He says, if you're gutless, then rot on this island. I'm coming for your God Valley, right? And at this time, Rox isn't even interested in Shaki, right? We're going to learn the real reason as to Rox is going after God Valley and Shaki, right? It's just 2 birds with 1 stone, but we see Roger, he's invigorated, he's asking Rayleigh, what should we do? Rayleigh's like, we should shave Shaki, so it seems like he's kind of getting back on this boat of taking care of the women in his life, at least for a small period in time, right? We see Garp super excited to go after learning what's going on with Shaki. It really does seem like this is the catalyst for everything to move forward, but there is a lot more going into the story for one particular character. We get an image of the Great Eric, or the old Great Eric, I guess, and it is in front of Rox's ship, and everyone's like astounded, everyone's shocked, like, yo, what's going on? What's happening? Right? And Harold is telling Rox, like, hey, I've been told by the world government to not let anybody pass this line. Like, this is the line you're not allowed to pass, right? And Rox is kind of like teasing about, like, Harold, you're always one for rules and one for, the legality of things. Let's have a drink, right? They have they share a drink of sake, just like Whitebeard and Roger and it's a really nice moment, man. We learned that Rox has been hiding his name, just like, Marshall D. Teach, Blackbeard, has been hiding his name in fear of retaliation from the world government, being that his name is not Rox D. Zebek, but it is indeed Davy D. Zebek. And it turns out that he belongs to the Davy clan, same as a pirate of the same nature, Davy Jones, the origin of the Davy back fights. Realistically, the rival, or maybe even the brother to Joy Boy, something that I'm really interested in, hope we get some answers to soon. I mean, I cannot be more pleased with what we're getting with this backstory and this lore. It's a little bittersweet knowing that it will be ending in the next 4 or so chapters, and maybe even with like a 2-month break on the way. I mean, it's just something that I am anticipating with the rapid fire of amazing content that we're getting from Oda. But I do have to say, I would like a final conclusion on this somehow, some way that feels satisfactory. I do not want to be left with I have to wait to the next arc to get more answers out of this specific backstory, especially when it comes to the Davy family. Like, there's so much that has to go into that. And I mean, on a timeline, we only have about 3 islands left, ballpark 150 chapters each. I'm looking forward to it, man, but I want to make sure that everything's fleshed out properly because I know Oda's capable of it. After this, Harold recognizes that his family is the catalyst for this attack on God Valley, from Rox. He's saying that, he's hearing from Rox that my family lives there, my child lives there, my wife lives there, like my entire clan exists at God Valley and they're trying to wipe it off the face of the earth. I don't want to go for Shaki for romantic reasons, but if Shaki's there, that's all the more reason to plunder and cause chaos, right? And we get this really beautiful scene from Harold where he acknowledges, that his kin in all of his history resides on God Valley. Same with Harold and Elbaf. And Harold acknowledges that Rox is doing all of this in spite of, his own safety, in spite of his life, in spite of the entirety of his goals for his family. And Harold is almost brought to tears. He tells Rocks, with kind of like he kind of tells Rocks, with tears welling in his eyes, I can't let you pass, Rocks. Even though you are like me, and we are of the same cloth, and you will do anything to protect your lineage and your family, I cannot let you cross. I cannot let you pass. And Harold kind of just like eats an attack. All the crewsmen from both sides, Rocks and Harold, stay out of it. Well, I'm pretty sure it's just like a 2-tap from Rocks, and then they go on about their way to push forward to God Valley. But really, really beautiful scene, man. Right before it, Rocks asks Harold for a hand, and that's kind of the reason as to why Harold has to like really put his foot down. But it is so fucking heartbreaking, man. So fucking heartbreaking. The beautiful things that these two could have done if just given the right time, right opportunity. Fuck, man. It's such a heartbreaker. Right after we get next we get our last panel. It is Dragon. Dragon is spoiler. Our last panel, Shakiyaku is being auctioned off. She's being given this grandiose entrance. In the history of all of the One Piece world, there's only one island with 100% women. Yes, no men, not a sausage in sight, and she's the queen. And Shakiyaku is kind of just sitting there. She's chained up. It really does give me vibes of Saba Odi, and it's just super fucking unfortunate, man, that this situation's even happening. We're getting kind of notes from all the celestial dragons, these pervs, right? Samra says that he'd make her a slave. Saint Garland says that he wants to make her wife, as the reason to why he clipped the unfortunate lady he did later in front of Shamrocks and Shanks, mind you. They didn't get moved to another room. They were like right there when their mother got stabbed. Insane shit, right? Next we see Dragon. We get a small portion of Gunko and somebody in a hat that resembles Law, but I'm 90% sure that we've seen this person in a previous backflash. But I'm 90% sure that we've seen this person already in the Kuma backflash, in the Kuma backstory. So I'm not too intrigued by that, but we will see where that goes. It does kind of resemble Law, so who knows where that's gonna go. Dragon, in his younger years, Marine uniform, beat up from the tides around him, he finds a woman in a really small enclosed kind of, how do I say, under it doesn't all right, Dragon, he it's an environment that I wouldn't say a celestial dragon would involve himself in. It feels very small, very cramped, and very kind of like impoverished, if that makes any sense. And there's a woman on the floor bleeding, and she tells Dragon, or she tells what I presume to be Dragon, to not let that bastard get their hands on Dragon. God damn it. The woman tells Dragon to please get my child off this island. Don't let that bastard capture my, don't let it get in that, don't let him fall in, god damn it. Don't let them fall into that bastard's hands. Come here. It's all right. You've got to survive. And we see that the child is not Shamrock and Shanks. It's Blackbeard. It's baby Blackbeard. And it's like, Dragon and Blackbeard are so much more intertwined than we ever imagined. And it is given this responsibility of Dragon, right? Kind of like Kinemon, damn it. Kind of like Kinemon with Luffy and Wano, right? To like protect my family, right? Protect what's left of this island. And Dragon is around the same time, and Dragon is around the exact same age that Luffy was in Arlong Park and Water 7. We are about to see some phenomenal shit from Dragon. Realistically, I don't know if it's going to be more hockey based. He is the son of Garp, or maybe even the protege, whatever that timeline is, right? So there's possibly he has like a galaxy impact like thing in his bag. We could also see something as simple as just a really fucking amazing dragon fruit. God. something as simple as an amazing devil fruit that he captures from maybe somebody who falls from battle, or maybe something that he picks up from the fucking competition. Oh man, I'm hyped, and I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm looking forward to it. This chapter was heat. This chapter was fucking heat, bro. It was so much lore, so much going into it, and I know that what we get next is gonna be fire. Chapter 1159. I'm looking forward to the next one. There is no break next week, so we will be doing this next week. And I had a great time. 9 out of fucking 10. Easy 8 out of 10. This has been Cappy D Bar. Y'all stay tuned. Stay beautiful. Peace, y'all.